part of the Reddit Pokemon gift exchange, so what I'm going to try to do is turn this into a really cool looking badge holder for this. I found out that the guy I got in the exchange is on Team Mystic, so I'm going to attempt to take the logo, cut it out of this really thin piece of wood, either mount it on top or on the inside of the lid. I haven't decided which yet. After I get it cut out, got a spare just in case. And then maybe give it a light coat of paint on top to get that blue on it. And then on the inside, I'm going to take some foam. Then I have a thicker piece of floor foaming downstairs that I'm going to use as kind of the bottom, because I'm going to hide some LEDs, or at least the power source, underneath. And then I'm going to try to put these around the inside of the box so you can flip a switch, which I have here, that I will try to mount through the back of the box, and then kind of illuminate the interior with the blue. The goal is to take this, recess the badges in this, let them sit in a thicker piece of foam, and then cover it in some felt to try to give it just a better look. Then I'll stain the box, and hopefully that'll be the end of it, but who knows. So the first step in the process here is adding my switch. I'm going to test wire it, and then if it works the way I want it to, I'll take it downstairs and solder it. Switch than I thought. So when I originally came up with this idea, what I wanted was basically a switch like this, where I could mount it right in here. I took the lid off, if you didn't notice, but so when the lid shuts, it shuts just enough to depress the switch, which means I'm going to have to mount it probably about that low. And then that way it interrupts the current when the lid is shut and no lights. But whenever you open it, lights come on automatically. You don't have to flip any switches. Problem is, I didn't think I could find a switch in the small enough form factor to make it work. And when I went looking for one, nobody seemed to have any idea, and I inadvertently purchased what I wanted. Problem is, this is almost as thick. So I'm not positive how I'm going to get it in there. And on top of that, I'm going to have to mount it all the way down there, I think, in order to get that to work. I'm going to have to get just about perfect. So I'm going to measure and then make some cuts with my Dremel and see if I can't chisel that down. I'm also going to have to remove all this right here, I think, because it's just a little bit fatter. So that's got to come off or be ground down. Not sure which yet. I think that'll work. Now what I'm going to do is get maybe 1 or 2 layers of this to go into the bottom of this box, so I know what height to cut my channel for the LEDs at. Not quite perfect, but pretty close.
after I get the 6mm in there, that'll leave everything real close to the surface. Give me lots of room to play with underneath. See what kind of height that gets us. And that'll actually probably be more than enough to hold that switch in place. If I get real close to the top, I'll put some hot glue on it, but for the most part, I think, oh yes, look at that. Right up there at the top. I like that. I'm going to string the LEDs in and hot glue them up around the sides. So I just need to know what depth to set the Dremel at. And if I go right about there and score it in, I think that'll... Carved a little slot out of the back. It's not super pretty. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of time to do things pretty, but that way, if for whatever reason the switch fails, there's still the ability to turn it off and on. But I think that's going to work in there pretty well. Cutting these out. So what I'm going to attempt to do is put felt on top and then cut them a little strategically so that I can get the badges to sink in there a little bit. Got the interior felted and yes. All right, I've got the pieces cut out. Now I need to trace them and then I need to cut them out on my saw and hopefully glue them back together in a way that makes sense. Clearly not there yet, but that does give me the pieces, so I just got to put it together and glue them on. So it's all finished up, stained, painted. You can see I stained over top of the paint. I kind of took a little bit of the harshness of the blue out of there, and I like the way it blends with the box a bit better. But there she is, opened up. I like the lights as an accent piece, but if they don't like them, they can always flip the switch in the back. Big fan of it. I hope the Reddit user likes it. I hope he enjoys the Team Mystic logo. That nearly cost me my fingertips on a few occasions. But overall, I'm really happy with it. But I think it's pretty nice for the time I spent with it, and I hope that they like it too.